day's finally come that today is the day that we're picking up the yellow F50. Obviously, this is the 5th car I picked up from Curated, and I thought I got to bring you guys along and see what this is like. This place is unbelievable. If you're into cars, this is like walking into the greatest candy store of all time. You can see through the windows that the showroom is packed, and every time I walk in here, I'm here to pick up a car, but there's so many unicorns in the room that I absolutely lose my mind. And as expected, I'm opening the door right now, and that's the rear end of Bugatti EB110. And there's the man himself, Mr. John Tamarian.
Hey, you ready?
Oh my God, I'm so ready. I am so ready. I cannot believe. I was just looking at my calendar. It's been roughly 6 weeks since we agreed on the deal for the F50.
Yep.
And I've been super busy. You guys have been super busy. We got the car back here to Miami. Basic stuff, tires. We threw on exhaust. We'll talk a little bit about that. I'm 2 feet in the showroom. Not only the EB110, here's a 288 GTO. Pretty sure, John, this is the one you told me that has less than 1,000 miles on it.
Yeah. I mean, there's probably 4 or 5 in the world today left with this kind of miles. We sold what we believe is the lowest. I think it was 91 miles.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and then there's another car I know with 500 miles in California, but this has got to be one of the top 5 lowest mileage cars. All original paint, original interior.
Has it ever been restored or anything?
No.
Just maintained, right?
No, just maintained.
There was what, 247?
Ooh, you're good. 271, I believe.
271.
Yes.
I thought I had that nailed.
Yep. They were all red.
271.
There was one prototype that was yellow. It was originally born red, then the factory painted it yellow.
The car that, oh my God, at some point, John, I keep talking about this, Lamborghini Miura SV. This car is just so phenomenal.
I mean, to me, this is the world's first supercar. And the way a Miura SV, I mean, the wide hips, the wide wheels, it's just, you could park this next to an F40 and it still looks badass today.
No question.
And really, I think this is Lamborghini's ultimate car they've ever made.
Oh my God, looky here. One of 2 Countach turbos. Unbelievable.
Yeah, so this is a cool car. It was built by the Swiss distributor for Lamborghini, Max Babner, and it was a super famous car. There was posters, magazines of it, and then one day it disappeared. I discovered it years ago. We bought it, we sold it, and then we just about 2 weeks ago, we had the opportunity to buy it back, which it was like, okay, duh.
Yeah, right, for sure. Wow.
But it's such a cool piece. It drives incredibly well. It's twin turbo.
Now this is a different red than really any other Countach.
Yeah, so this was painted. It's a unique color. It's like a metallic red.
Beautiful.
Beautiful color. And this is also, so this was actually based on an LP400S low body. So if you look, it's a lower stance. The roof is lower.
Yeah.
So it's a lower car. So this is based originally.
This is even lower than my anniversary Countach for sure, right? Yep. I've got my preferred way I sit in that car and I drive it, and it's good. I can't imagine if I had to try to find another inch or 2 to get my head down in there. I don't know if that's gonna happen.
It's about an inch. Yeah, it's about
another
inch
inch.
Lower, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I
from
could.
The inside. Yeah.
We'd have to.
Yeah, you've got to be either Italian or a certain height.
Yeah, I think something this special, I'd find a way to get my ass in it for sure.
100%.
This thing is gorgeous.
100%.
It is absolutely gorgeous. And it's in
100%.
great condition. Interior's
Beautiful
in fantastic
condition. Yeah. It was sitting with a really interesting guy for years, Bill Pennington, famous casino owner in Nevada.
Really?
And he had passed away, and it was sitting in his living room. So it was.
Of course it was. Now the guy's even cooler now.
Yeah, exactly.
What I tell you guys, he's like a walking encyclopedia and historian of cars. We've talked about this car before. I actually really love this car. I know you just recently sold it. Again, I'm kind of grateful because I get here and I just start losing all concept of money because these unicorns are here and you just don't see these things. But this is a driver Miura.
Total driver. And you know what? This is super odd for us because it's not original, but the story is insane. It went to a real estate developer in California in 1977. He had a very famous hot rod shop, actually put these wheels and
his own hot rod shop did that?
He flared the rear fender. And it's funny, when we first bought it, we said, oh, okay, it's just a driver. Remarkably though, and you gotta see this. So the gentleman that inspected the car was blown away. He's like, I've never seen a car more original, even though it's been modified, because it's, imagine this, original interior. Every body stamp is original matching. The door handles, the rubber, the trim, all of this has never been off the car. So the glass has never even been out of the car. Wow. And you can actually see it was originally like an orangish red. Yep. You can see the original paint underneath. So it's a very cool, old, sort of, it's like a period hot rod.
Yep, that's exactly right. The
you know, and we
so
just,
cool
it looks so good. Yeah, we were like, okay, we gotta leave it. Those are actually Porsche 935 racing magnesium wheels. And then talking about Porsches,
oh my God,
this is something you have to see. This is a one owner from 1973.
Really?
Considered probably one of the best Carrera RSs left in the world. Original paint, original interior, 27,000 miles, and documented from new. The guy used to service it at the Porsche factory. Insane story.
Really?
Yeah, insane story. I mean, this is a very special
Germany
piece.
Or
It's lived its entire life in Switzerland.
Switzerland? Okay.
And then the gentleman passed away, and the family brought it to the U.S. So we're selling it for the family. An incredible piece.
Well, if my son were here, this would be the car he's most.
No way, really?
Oh yeah, no, he would be crazy.
Wow, no way. Okay.
Oh yeah, he's got his GT3, but he would just go.
That's
nuts
cool. That's
over,
cool. Old soul.
Yeah, he is. He really is.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, no, he absolutely knows his stuff. This thing is unbelievable to see in person. Ferrari Daytona Spider. There was what
121 factory Daytona Spiders. This was originally delivered new to Chicago, to the US. In 2010, it had an incredible restoration. So that's what you're looking at today.
Yeah.
Truly a almost 100-point car.
This is insane. You said this was restored in 2010.
Yes.
That's almost 15 years ago.
Yes.
It looks, I mean, I'm looking at the leather here.
Looks like it was just restored.
It looks like it just finished.
Yeah.
It's like they haven't taken the plastic off the seats yet.
It's like, yeah, it's.
I mean, it literally.
So it went to, in 2010, it went to a major collector, and literally he would start it up, rarely drove it, and just he did an incredible job preserving it.
The car is immaculate.
Yeah, I could see you in one of these.
Had you not already taken all my money,
I could definitely.
I'll tell you who else wants to see me in one of these is my wife. So I think you have her vote there too, man. I mean,
well, I'll go negotiate with her later.
No. Oh wow. So this is incredible. Red F50.
So red F50, obviously not as rare as the yellow, but
there's 349. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, total.
Yeah.
Right. So I was researching this. So 31 yellow. There's 4 in black, 4 in silver, and then there's 8 in
Rosso Barchetta.
Rosso Barchetta.
Yes.
Right. Cavallino, January. There was a Rosso Barchetta 550 at the show. Done very well. It's the only color I don't like on that car. On this car, it was darker, and I just felt like it took away some.
So I think it's a hit or miss. I know a few clients that love it.
Sure.
To me, my favorite color is yellow or black on the car. There's no question.
The yellow
is just.
You absolutely took advantage of me that day. So full disclosure, obviously I knew John and I talk a lot. We've done a lot of business together, and we're very good friends. I knew that he had this yellow car. I'd seen pictures of it. We talked about it. We texted about it. I had told him no on the yellow F50 at least 5 times.
Yes.
And then he let me know that it was sold. I'm like, great, good for you, happy for you, buddy. Now I don't have to hear about this F50. And I can start thinking about the yellow F50. A few days, maybe a week before Car Week, hey, yellow F50 is available again. I'm like, good for you, no, right? Sorry to hear your deal fell through, no, not happening.
Good for you, no.
Then we literally—
You blocked my number, right? No, I'm just
Well, no, I had them block all cell signal at Quail. So at Quail, and this from what I understand, this is our first year Car Week, but from what I understand, this happens every year where there's so many people in such a small area, you can't even send text messages.
No, nothing.
So my wife and I got separated. We had some friends with us. We all kind of got separated. As I'm walking around looking for my wife and friends, we physically bump into one another because you can't text yourself. It wasn't coordinated unless you were tracking me going, there's our Mark.
There we go.
He's right there. He's right there. I think I was a Mark. Pretty sure I was a Mark. And we physically bump into one another. He's like, oh, would you believe I brought the yellow F50 here to the resort, Quail Resort? And I'm like, of course you brought the yellow F50. So let's throw some GoPros in it. Let's go film some content. It'll be fun. We've been talking about filming content together. We've never done it before.
No.
Thought it'd be fun. And meanwhile, I'm like, I know what he's doing to me. I know I'm being led to slaughter, and yet I willingly went.
You willingly went.
And here we are. So we negotiate. But to see the car, when I walked up to it in person that day, it's breathtaking. To see this car in
I think
yellows.
also wait till you see it today with the top off.
Oh, that's right. I haven't seen the top on. You're right. We have the top on.
You know what? We're not going to show it on camera yet, but if you turn around real quick,
yeah.
just one quick turnaround. Look behind you.
Oh! it's in the back.
It's really funny, actually.
Yeah.
If you see it with the top off, it's just, and drive it with the top off, it's a different experience.
Well, that's what we're going to do today. Yeah. So you're actually leaning on a car.
Yeah.
If you guys follow the channel, you guys know I have bought back my very first exotic car ever bought was a 2005 Murcielago Roadster. the family and I, we bought it back about 2 years ago now, fully restored it. And I bought the car back, not only to have back in the collection, but the biggest reason was to recreate that photo with my kids now today at almost 18 and 20. And then they were, I think, 6 and 4 originally in the car. But manual Mercies are just the thing. And I think they're gonna be the thing. I think they're here to stay. I think the values are just gonna continue to go up and up and up.
This is, so we owned this about 3 years ago. This is probably one of my favorite that we've had.
So this is your second time owning it?
Yep, second time owning it. This is 900 miles. It's the only one built in Monterey Blue on blue interior. It was the Toronto Auto Show car.
Oh.
I originally bought it from the original owner. I chased him for maybe 10, 12 years.
Yeah.
And we had sold it, and literally the car sat, and I actually ended up saying, like, reaching out and saying, hey, I'd love it back, you know, if you're not using it. And I just think, listen, today, especially these early gen, I love the way they look as well. They're super clean.
They are.
And I think it's a lot of car for the money. I mean, there's probably 20, 30 good cars left today in the US. Most were wrecked.
That many? That few?
Yeah.
I mean, with no story, right? No,
I mean,
no
they were, you know, imagine when these were new, I mean, you had
it was a different time.
It was a different time.
Yeah.
You know, people drove the wheels off these cars.
Hey, you know, even mine, my 05, I mean, you know, I bastardized it a little bit. Everybody put aftermarket wheels on them and did all kinds of crazy things to the interior.
More than 50% have been wrecked, imagine. So yeah, we've run every single VIN. So more than 50% have been wrecked. And when I say wrecked, good wrecks. I mean, not like a bumper. So to find nice cars today is almost impossible.
All right, how many miles are on this one?
980 miles. And what's wild is it still holds its own next to a CLK.
Look at this.
Next to a CLK
Unicorns,
GTR
like
Roadster.
So, okay, this happens every single time I come here. I'm here to pick up a car. I spend probably an hour and a half looking at all the other unicorns in the showroom, deciding, am I gonna buy 2 cars today before I ever get anywhere near the car that I'm actually here to pick up? So this is insane.
This is insane. Right. One of 6 for the world. This is essentially, imagine AMG contracted HWA to build a race car to go GT racing. At the time, it was the Porsche GT1 and the McLaren F1. So they build the CLK GTR, for homologation reasons, they had to build 25 road cars.
Okay.
They built 20 coupes, 6 roadsters. They went racing in 1998. They were extremely successful. Imagine they dominated the championship. And then this car, imagine, I think this is the lowest mileage in the world. This is 21 kilometers. It was sitting in the Abu Dhabi Royal Family Collection.
Wow.
And we had the opportunity to purchase this in a Reventone, which the Reventone will end up in Texas. Back in your home state, already sold it.
It's probably good for me too.
With a really nice collection. But this is, I mean, this is insane piece. We actually, the funny story about this is we verbally put our hand up to buy this for Drake. And Drake was very busy at the time. He did not close the deal. We still remain friends with him.
Sure.
But we ended up selling this recently to a big collector who collects, like, basically cars that are art.
This is
unicorn. This is a museum piece.
Like, see, I can't buy this car because I would drive the crap out of it.
And I don't. And here's what I'll say. This is not something.
Yeah.
You know, this is so radical. Like, you need a race team.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah,
I need a whole support team, right?
You need a support team. You know, listen, you can definitely use it, but it's so low. The gearbox is so, it's a race car.
Yeah, it's a race car.
It's not even
a different deal.
It's a race car with a license plate holder.
Yep, that's
what it is. Yeah.
I've got my SVJ Roadster, but honestly, I had the 2016 SV Roadster. And looking back on, I wish I'd have kept the car because made 800 SVJ Roadsters, only 500 of these. I actually prefer the 2016.
Wow, really? Okay.
It's more raw. My wife and I both, we've had every variation, literally every variation of the Aventador, which is ridiculous, right? We had the coupe when they first came out, like 2012.
Yep.
Then the Roadster.
Yep.
Then we got the SV Roadster.
Yep.
Then an S Roadster.
Oh, okay.
And then I've had 2 SVJ Roadsters. After you've driven this, okay, the Aventador S was kind of to be more refined, more comfortable to drive, blah, 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 right?
Yes.
I feel like when you can drive this versus the SVJ, it makes the SVJ feel like it's an SVS, like a comfortable SV compared to
no way
raw and visceral this thing is.
So it's funny you say that. I actually, so I haven't driven an SVJ, but a lot of people say the same. I drove, so this is as new as I think will ever go in the showroom.
Yeah, I was shocked when I looked over and saw this.
Yeah,
like, this is out of your,
and
this is
we
not
would
your era.
normally not have something like this. One of the reasons
Somebody
why we
traded it
do
in.
is it has 200 miles, 300 miles. So it's probably one of the lowest mileage SV Roadsters left. And I think for someone that's building a collection, I always think like, okay, if you're building a collection, what do you buy?
Yeah.
I would say an SV Roadster with no miles.
500.
If you're building, yeah.
There's 500 of these. There's
So
800 SVJs. Look at the values on those over MSRP, right?
Yep.
Still to this day,
Yep.
even with the Rev Welto out.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
I mean, remember? I mean, it
Yeah.
didn't work that way. Usually, like
No,
Lamborghini comes with a new
no.
model, they'll just tank. And now here we are, looking where SVJs are doing very, very well secondary,
Yes.
well
Yes.
over MSRP.
Yes.
And I think that as time goes on, people are going to
Well,
recognize.
you know what's so interesting? I have 2 clients today that bought Revueltos that love them. They say it's like driving a Porsche Turbo. Like it's too good. You
It's
can daily
very
drive
good.
it. It's too good.
I agree with that.
But that are now saying, you know what? I'm gonna go get my old SVJ, or I'm gonna go get an SV.
So I predicted this.
Yeah.
I said it on camera.
Yeah.
We talked
Oh,
about
really?
this.
No way. I didn't
when
see
I got
that.
the Rev Welto.
Wow.
Yep, I got the Rev Welto. I agree on all those things. It is a very good driving car.
Yes.
I look at the Rev Welto as, number one, I'm so grateful. Lamborghini, props to you. NA V12, awesome.
Yes.
I understand you have to do the
Yes.
hybrid thing to keep up with the horsepower
Yes.
race, get it to
Correct.
1,000 horsepower. I get
Yes.
it. But what they did, my favorite thing about the Huracan, and we've owned several different Huracans. In fact,
Yep.
we just bought another STO.
Yep.
Is the agility that that car had. Number one, the V10's amazing. It's
Yes.
absolutely sick.
Oh, it's a
Who would have
blast.
thought the V10 would get retired before the V12?
I know.
I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
But you had the agility and really tremendous
Yes.
handling capabilities of the Huracan. The Rev Welto, they have put an NA V12 in a car that handles with the agility of a Huracan. That's what they've done. And I'm
So I haven't gotten a chance
it's
to drive one
really
yet.
good.
Wow.
The car is
really?
really, really good. Dual clutch gearbox. Everybody
Yes.
was complaining about that. I'm telling people for years, I'm like, the single clutch, the thrill you get, the drama you get from a single clutch gearbox just kicking you in the back of the head is where we are right now with manuals.
Yes.
Everybody, we got away from manuals and automatic. And all
I
that.
agree.
Now, I mean, come on. Was it 5, 6 years ago, 7 years ago? What you get an 02, 03 Mercy? Nobody wanted them,
Nobody wanted it.
right?
There's a true story.
And now here
a
they
guy was, this is 10 years ago, he was at a dealership and they had a manual LP640 Roadster
Yeah.
and a LP640 E-Gear, which today, you could almost say the difference is $1 million.
Yep. Yeah.
And-
It's insane.
It's $1
Yeah,
million.
that's right. Yeah.
And he was
Crazy.
there, and the dealer, he was interested in the manual, and the dealer said, nobody's gonna want that car. And-
It's a weird one.
Yeah,
It's a,
nobody's gonna want that
off.
car.
Yeah, no.
So yeah, I mean, look.
And here we are. So now
Yeah.
and I'm telling you now that everybody got what they thought they wanted, which is
Yes.
a dual clutch
Yes.
in
That's
the
interesting
Big
you
12.
say that. I didn't even think about the dual
This
clutch
is what they're gonna want.
versus
This car is tremendously gonna go up in value
Yes.
because there's only 500
Yes.
and it's more raw
yes.
than the SVJ
Agreed.
for sure.
Agreed.
I miss
Agreed.
mine. I miss
Agreed.
mine.
Diablo GTR, another Diablo GTR. Imagine there's 30 in the world. We have 3 here. I'm not
It's
sure where the
insane.
other one is.
Think about what he just said. And that's what it just messes me up every time I come and drives my wife crazy. She's like, "We need to be out of there by X time," and I'm like,
It's not gonna
I'm
happen.
gonna try.
It's not gonna
I'm
happen.
gonna
It's not
try.
gonna-
There's 30 in the world. There's 3 here.
Yeah.
Right. It's like with everything in this showroom. It's
That
absolutely
actually,
nuts.
even the Challenge Stradale and the SLR, that's a one-of-one SLR color.
I was
the
shocked
only one
when
in
I
ivory.
walked by an interview. I'm like, what?
Yeah, only one. It was built to match someone's 300 SL. So he wanted to match his original 300 SL. So super cool piece. The Challenge Stradale is probably one of the best non-red cars in the US. Black with the stripe, 3,000 miles. So, and even the Barchetta, I mean, a Barchetta is still rare, but you know, everything we have here has to tell a story.
Yeah.
You know, to me, it's that's why I wake.
They
That's
do.
why I wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
It's like chasing,
There's so much
another
passion in it.
treasure, and
Yeah.
and that's what it's about.
Well, that actually, I know that to be true about you, and I think it's what makes this place so
Thank you.
special. The business you've built, you're
Thank
so
you,
special.
man. Thank you.
And it, not to sound corny, but it feels very special to be a part of it.
Thank
A
you.
lot of people know about my background, how I
Yes.
got where I got,
Yeah.
and where I come from, and,
Yep.
and my, and my friends know that story, but the world doesn't know that story,
Yeah.
right? It's kind of personal. And finally, I got comfortable enough to be a little more vulnerable on camera. We released that story.
Yep.
But the first time I met you, I told you it was the poster of a Countach that changed my life. And we actually drove the Countach you sold me to make that video last week. So
Wow.
yeah, life full
And
circle moments, bro.
And you know what? And that's what this is all about to
It
me.
really is.
I think the company really, at the end of the day, beyond our motto, it's about providing dreams for our clients. It's about providing dreams for the team members. you know, even our from our text to our marketing guys, this is all dream to be around
all
this
of
kind
us.
of stuff.
Every car
So
here.
you know, I think it's again, it's about providing dreams. That's what we do.
I see this red Miura back here. It's absolutely gorgeous.
That is the Eddie Van Halen car.
That is the Eddie.
That's the car.
The one you had
That's
restored.
the car. Yeah. So with his original license plate on it, we were lucky enough. He let me keep that. God rest him. Greatest guitar player, one of the greatest guitar players of all time.
Absolutely, no question.
He passed away 2 years after we bought the car. Actually, it was like a year and some months. And then the car was originally green, and we were going to restore it back to green.
Right.
And then I got a call from Lamborghini Polo Storico, and they literally said, no, we need to restore it back to the way that Eddie drove it. He's an icon. The car was an icon.
Wow.
He owned the car, imagine, from 1980 until 2020. So he owned the car for so many
40 years.
Yeah, so this was a part of his life. He actually told people that he would never sell this car. His kids were gonna sell it the day he died. So, you know, maybe there was a premonition, or he knew he was sick.
Something.
Because people were shocked that he sold it to us. And the cool story about the car was he used to drive around. In the car, there's no radio.
Yeah.
He had whatever his old player was in the 80s. He'd drive around.
Cassette player,
It
Walkman.
was something. And he would write music while he was in the car, listen to his own music. He only ever listened to Van Halen music while he drove the car. And then the car was backed into 5151 studio. And in the song Panama, the revving is this car. Like the history.
What a piece of history, man.
So,
you know what? Thank God. I was about to ask the question. There's a sold sticker on it. Oh, thank God. Polo Storico, he mentioned that briefly. If you don't know what that is, the restoration and historical division of Lamborghini. If I described it wrong, correct me.
Yeah.
And so this was fully restored in Italy by Polo Storico at Lamborghini.
Yes.
Curated is the only authorized Polo Storico service center and restoration in the United States.
So really, besides their network or dealer network, we're really the only place outside of that can do a certification.
Yeah.
Everything up to Murcielago today, so everything up to 2001.
Okay.
So we do a full process, and everything goes to the factory. Everything gets approved.
Yep.
We can do it right here in house. And for us, honestly, it's an honor to be part of the history. And also, it's super important. I can't express. You know, I'm lucky enough to know. You know, we have our own database of everything. You know,
I know. If there's a car out there, he knows about it.
So. And I think it's super important, especially for Lamborghini owners, to know that they bought a car and it's a good car.
Yep.
Or it's this color originally.
Exactly what you're getting. You know exactly what the provenance of that car is, and that brings tremendous peace, value, and quite honestly, enjoyment out of the car, because you're getting something that you can take out of here, drive and enjoy. It's not going to break down on you 10 times and have all the gremlins come out. Like I said, these cars are well researched, well documented. Well, standing in front of a car that you and I've talked about, maybe not this exact one, but there's only 50, but the 40th anniversary Murcielago. Of course, it's got the gated manual in it. And this one does say sold. Okay, all right. This is a car that the more I see it, the more I continue to fall in love with it. And I do think it's another car that's a great investment long term.
Oh, there's no question. They're all numbered. How many Lamborghinis today, modern Lamborghinis, are individually
it doesn't
numbered?
say 1 of 50, it says number 21 of 50. Wow.
So, and we've actually had 3 of the 50 cars. There were only 18 or 19 US cars. So we've had 3, which is insane, because for years I've been trying to buy them. And just people, they feel like they're undervalued. They feel like,
I think they
you know, one day this is a special piece. They only made it in one color, Verde Artemis. They all had this carbon fiber sort of inlay here. They had the charcoal wheels, they had the silver calipers, the two-tone interior, a unique Alpine system, a unique exhaust system, unique floor mats, and then the badging on the side that says 40th.
There's a car here that's gonna shock you that my wife and I really, like, we've seen it, it's been here every time. So I'm assuming you had it for a while.
Yes.
In fact, I think you told me once upon a time that you bought it, but it was never intended to sell.
Never. No, we've never intended to sell it.
And this is going to shock. Oh, so you know what I'm talking about? Okay, all right. Well, it's the limousine outside. It's the old school Mercedes-Benz limousine outside. And we're pulling up just now, and my wife and I look at, oh, John still got the limo sitting together. And she's like, that thing is so sick. Do you think he would sell it to us as a date night car? I'm like, I don't know, but you got it sitting out front. I've never poked my head inside this thing. Before we get to the yellow F50,
you gotta go look at it.
I mean, of all these unicorns,
I need it.
87 limo, Mercedes-Benz limo. Let's go take a look at it.
Right? Let's go do it. Let's go do it.
This is hilarious. Holy cow. Look at this.
It's absolutely gorgeous inside.
Wow.
The wood, the leather's all beautiful. It's so period correct.
This is...
I actually want to see you with, I need to see you driving your Countach.
Yeah.
And I need this following you.
Come on, babe. I didn't think you wanted to be on camera.
Oh, well, oh, cute.
It's pretty pimp. It is pretty pimp. So what was the purpose of you buying this?
I just got overexcited. And
I can relate.
I thought, wow, what a cool piece.
Yeah.
And then when it arrived, I was like, we can't sell this thing. It's just, it's so cool.
I'm so excited for this. I've actually a little bit almost been delaying coming over here because I've got so much anticipation. It's the most expensive car I've ever bought in my life. It's not a car that I thought was going to happen in my collection for at least another year, maybe longer. But as we know, with these types of cars, they're rare. When they come along. If it's the right car,
yes,
you know, you gotta take that as it comes. And
yeah.
Here we are. So it's been 6 weeks since I saw it. I've never seen it with the top off. That I'm super excited about. And so I guess it's time. I'm rambling. I'm rambling.
Let's go. Let's go.
All right.
Here we go.
You got this side? All right. Here we go. Oh my God. I think this car in yellow.
One at a time. There we go.
Is, oh my God, look at this thing. Unbelievable. So we talked about doing an exhaust on this thing, and you wanted to hear my face.
I just want to hear your face when you started with the exhaust.
With the exhaust. So I could get the camera on the face so we can actually hear the face type deal.
And we've been running it, so you don't have to warm it up too much.
Yeah, the engine's already got some tint. Wow. God, every time that V12 revs, it just goes right up your spine. You want to talk about an absolute just, you know, what do you even say about something like this? This is just crazy. This is one of those life moments. This is why you buckle down. This is why you make the sacrifices. This is why you take the risk. And you have these moments in life where you've achieved something and it's in front of you and it's almost surreal. It's almost crazy that this is my car. This is unbelievable. One of 31 yellow Ferrari F50s. Amazing history. Truly incredible. I mean, this is, for a guy like me that knows how to run his mouth all the time and not have much to say, this is incredible. This is unbelievable. I'm gonna stay on the road. I'm gonna get out of Miami. I'm gonna get out of here.
Let's go.
Let's do this. All right, let's go. We are at one of our absolute favorite hotels in the United States, the Breakers Hotel here in Palm Beach. You guys have been following the channel. You've seen that every time we buy a car from Curated down in Miami, this is now our 5th car that we bought from Curated Miami. We take delivery of the car, final inspection, wire the money over, and we get on the freeway and we head up to Palm Beach. And it gives us a great chance to not only give the car a good shakedown, make sure it doesn't have any, gremlins or anything like that. And we usually spend a couple days here in Palm Beach, enjoying not only the resort, you got a fantastic golf course here connected with the property, the oldest golf course in Florida. So it's become a tradition. This is now the 5th time that we've done it. This delivery did not go without a couple of hiccups. You know, the car's got tremendous background and history. We've got all the service history on the car. But at the end of the day, it's a 29-year-old car, and just due to age, things happen. At the time, I was a little frustrated, but actually looking back at it, it's kind of funny, and it made it more of a memory. Ready to drive off, fire it up, the AC's not blowing cold. We knew that they had just recently serviced the AC, so that was a little bit of a surprise to us. And I come to find out one of the valves just was not holding pressure. Swap it out, we think we're good. While they were working on it, we went ahead and went to one of our favorite restaurants in the Miami Design District to have lunch. John was kind enough to bring the car to us, and I go to hop in the car just to check, see how cold the AC was blowing, and the car wouldn't start. In this car, you put the key in, you turn it, press the button to go start the car, and that little push button had just failed. Fortunately, John, to the rescue again, had a button in stock, installed it. It was a super quick, easy fix. Got the car fired up, AC blowing cold, running great, drove it all the way up here to the breakers. The breakers, though, here's what is one of the craziest coincidences. We've already brought you guys part one. We're gonna be bringing you guys on the next stage of this crazy coincidence. Last year, they host a Cavallino show every year at the Breakers Hotel. Last year, I had just bought the Testarossa. We have the 512M, which is the American spec. They only make 75 of. Everton and Cavallino. Come to find out, the theme of Cavallino that year was celebrating 40 years of the Testarossa. So we entered our 512M into that class, and we won platinum. Guess what? They're celebrating Cavallino this year, 30 years of the F50. So 2 years in a row, I, by complete accident, happened to have bought a car that's being celebrated at Cavallino. So we'll be bringing you guys back here in January to enter the F50, F40 versus F50. I have to tell you what's amazing about both these cars. How do they drive? I've wondered all my life, how does the F40 and F50 compare to one another? True driving, same driver, owner, able to take the car to the limit. I'm not borrowing these cars from anyone else, so I don't have to take it easy. They're both absolutely two of the most raw, visceral cars I've ever driven in my life. If you search the internet, I've not been able to find a lot of direct comparisons on how these cars measure up, how they compare to one another. We're going to be doing that. We're going to be bringing you guys that content. I'm so excited to be able to do that because I can't find it anywhere else on the internet. If you can, send me information. Love to see the links below in the comments below. I will tell you this. Both cars are raw. Both cars are visceral. Done very, very differently. The key difference to this point, I will tell you, is both of them excite you, and one of them terrifies you. Just follow along, stay with us. We're bringing you guys a video so you can find out not only how these cars are different, so very much the same, and which one still absolutely to this day terrifies me. Talk to you soon.